Idea Society is now in session.
Yeah.
That is right. It is the Bad Idea Society, and we are on our 8th episode. What's up, Moose?
Yeah, it's crazy. Well, you know what? It's the middle of July. It's hot summer days, and wait, no, it's not. It's not July, man. What happened?
Dude, it should have been July. Things have been happening. Life has been happening, and
Computer's been crashing.
Yep, we were ready to go a couple weeks ago. Computer was black screen of death. It was bad. But I was able to get it back up and going. Shop under warranty, ready to go. Eniac, a fucking Eniac. We're going to episode number 4, Eniac. I'm blaming Eniac, that son of a...
Yeah, totally. Yep. Because he knew that we were right in so many different things. I mean,
rereading it today, coming across it today, I was just like, wait, I should go rewatch some of the old ones, but I know when we were in Eniac 3, I think Eniac 2, that there were some little nuggets that we caught on, and we weren't too far off with it, and I'm really happy to hear about that. But
I think so.
I think our end goal, Moose. Yeah.
I'm Moose. Yeah.
I'm Hoosier.
No, I think we were off, our finale. Yeah, absolutely. I think our end was way off. I know I was. My end goal was way off, but I was shooting for the moon, so I don't care that I was off.
No, yeah. I mean, we were off a little bit. It's okay. Yeah. But it was
right, though. Some of those
great.
Oh yeah, it was such an enjoyable read, and it was something that I had read it originally and then read it maybe a month ago just to kind of, okay, this is what I remember from it. Let me read it again. And then, I just read it here recently. And I'm like, okay, this really does flow really nice. I like how really, I don't know if anybody had hit the nail on the head. It was really kind of up in the air. I don't know if anybody expected that, it was going to end the way that it did.
Yeah, you know what I mean? We were almost thinking that there was going to be a little bit more fireworks up in the air, but there was still stuff up in the air. But yeah, it definitely left things up in the air. We can say that for sure. And so Eniac was great. We're talking about that a little bit here today. We're going to talk a little bit about sleigh bells and have a little Christmas story. It would have been in July, but August is still as good. Only 115 more days till Christmas, kids. So start getting your gifts now. Which is awesome. But there's been a shit ton of things happening with Bad Idea. I think one of our last episodes was Bad Idea is over, and then we just get off air for a couple weeks. But the Bad Idea is over. Final Five's launched. First sticker, passive aggressive. Did you get passive and aggressive?
I did. It was funny because during my trip down, of course, nobody knew anything at this point. Nobody had even stumbled upon anything. And I was talking to DBS, Dirtbag Sailor. He's over in the DC area now. And so we're just chatting back and forth, just saying, this, that, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And as soon as I land and I pick up my book, I'm sitting down and I'm just chomping on some food. And all of a sudden, my Twitter just boom, 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 boom starts lighting up. Sure enough, I get on there. Todd had said something. Hey, you mean to tell me that there's a second story to this? I'm like, wait a minute, what the hell? And it was just, I remember the email that was sent out that, there was going to be a surprise and you're probably not going to like it, And so, of course, I retweeted the cat's out of the bag. Now we know. And and from that point, I was getting ready to hustle over to my second comic shop. I get over there, and really cool, Bobby, a guy from the page, he's also a Valiant guy. He just happened to be hanging out. He's like, I was hanging out. I knew you'd be here, so I figured, I'd just hang out and say hi. And I come in, and I'm like, which one do you have? Do you have passive or do you have aggressive? And the owner's like, what are you talking about? Like, some of the stories start with passive, and I opened up the one that I had, and some of them here say aggressive, and they're totally different stories. And so they're both like, holy crap. So we went over, grabbed the stack, and started pouring through them. Of course, then we figured out that they were all passive. But I think the owner was probably tickled more than we were, as both Bobby and I were like, how the hell are we going to get, our hands on aggressive? It's not here.
Yeah.
And I know it's not back at the other store. And the owner was just tickled. He's like, man, that's fantastic. I love that. I never would have thought of that in a million years. He was just tickled pink the fact that they had pulled this stunt and as successful as they had, and I was just like, as I was leaving and I was talking to Bobby, I was just thinking to myself, you know what? Yeah, this is kind of a cool little stunt. I know there was a lot of people that didn't like it, but I will say this. The one thing about the page, and there's a lot of garbage on there, it showed that we really did have a solid community as people immediately started posting, hey, this place has passive. This place has aggressive. I have, 4 copies of passive. I have 3 copies of aggressive. People were swapping and making sure. And so immediately, like I said, I got on the horn with DBS and I said, hey, I think, at the time I said, I think East Coast has all aggressive and West Coast has all passive. Go check your stores. He's like, what are you talking about? So I told him everything. He's like, I'm in my car right now. He had said screw work. He was done. He took off. And then, he loaded up on a bunch of different books. And so we swapped books. I just got mine Friday, I think. Yeah.
Nice.
And so sat down Saturday and read it.
Picked up aggressive today. I got my aggressive today.
Nice.
It was pretty passive aggressive. I mean, and it makes sense to do passive for the West Coast and aggressive for the East Coast. I think there is a little bit of that dynamic across our country to a degree within that. I thought that was kind of funny. It was interesting. There are lots of like you said, upset people. It caused some sales. I know one of the stores that I go to, they had mentioned that, like, I wish they would have just let us know so we could have doubled our order, knowing that we're going to have to ship out, right? And
I imagine.
the people, and those stores could have doubled their orders just to make, and it makes sense. But and that's what they did. Is another store paired up with another store. It's like, hey, send me all your aggressive clients. I'll send you all my passive clients, and
so
you know what I mean. And we'll just double it up. It was just one store. It's like, oh yeah, here, I'll get it for you. Okay, cool. You know what I mean, and vice versa. So they definitely work together doing that. That way they can just do one shipment to that store. Like all of my passive clients will go to that. You know what I mean? So it's kind of smart. So he encouraged all of his clients, hey, pair up with that other store here. They'll ship it here. You'll have free shipping that way.
Yeah, brilliant.
Yeah. And so they just covered the shipping. So it was very smart. I wish that people would use their brain like that to really work. Like, okay, cool. Ship it, done. And do one packaging with 20 books, and you have that covered. Even though you didn't get to retail somebody on shipping fees, you still saved a lot of money and you made people happy. So, and then your clients got reimbursed.
Back in the beginning, when Bad Idea came out with who they are and what they want from you and what they want to be about, they initially said they want to be that store where you're going to pour through and you're going to find one of their books because they want you to dig through long boxes and short boxes and so on and so forth. Well, that's not necessarily going to manifest itself, but in today's world where people are reaching out to other shops across the country, is that not like digging through a long box? I mean, you're making cold calls to a business and saying, hey, do you have Bad Idea aggressive? And no, we're all out. But you know what? Try here. And so then you go to the next store. And that's just like going to a business place, and pouring through a box. You're going from place to place looking for these books to fill what you want. And that's exactly what they wanted you to do. I mean, not verbatim what they wanted you to do or what they were thinking, but, if you look at it from a bird's eye view, that's exactly what they're doing. You are reaching out to comic shops all across the country, and you're getting pulls and all kinds of different stuff. And you're spending money, not just Bad Idea books. You're still spending, I know I am. I'm still spending money at each and every shop that I'm at beyond just Bad Idea books.
Yep. I completely agree. I think it's good, right? And I think the goal is to have everything, that long box comparison is cool. But I do think that, you want your books, on the the top of the line Mylar, double backed, and having them rock, or having them all in encased CGC. It's just really cool to have your books to be that. And so, I think the books are telling a good part of the good story. That's the part of passive aggressive that came out. There was, and you reimburse that by turning in your first 5 sticker, is how those that got the sticker, that was the sticker award. And now there's the button award that was announced, that there is 2 books for the buttons. I think, is it 1 button per, gets you 1. Werewolf, and what the hell was the other one called?
Retirement
plan.
Retirement plan.
Yeah.
Right?
Retirement plan. That. Yeah, but that werewolf with the Louis Larosa cover. Oh, and Dirtbag owns it, I think, right? Doesn't Dirtbag own that? Jesse owns that. Or no, I'm sorry.
So.
No, it's not. No. It's our friend here in Seattle. Stephen Coates.
Right?
Stephen Coates.
Oh, is it Coates? Okay.
Yeah, Coates owns that. He's got the original of that. He had posted that a long time ago, and now he didn't even know what it was really for until then.
I remember when Larosa posted that up on Twitter, and he must just went out there and fish on and just bought it, and lo and behold, months and months later.
Yeah. I think this is interesting because, like, I'm somebody with my work, I cannot go out and sit there. So I think it's good that if you can sit there, you're doing it. But I'm about the story. Like, you know what I mean? If the way I look at it, me as a fan of the books, of the writing, of the story, if you're going to put the limited books like that, release those ones in digital. Like, don't
on
print.
A B-side.
Don't. Something, right? Give me something so I can enjoy the story, because I really want to read the story, and I understand wanting the limited print run and the scarcity there, but let me enjoy the story. And then those who do the art, write it, do all of that stuff, you'd think they would want, a lot of people to enjoy it too. So I get the collectability of the button, but please let me read the damn book,
Yeah, and it's early in the game. I mean, when you remember when Hero Trade came out, and a lot of people were complaining, just like they are right now. I just want to read the story. And Dinesh had it planned, the company had it planned that that was going to come out in a B-side in one of the books. And it did. I absolutely believe that these stories are going to be too dang good to not publish out there and get out there for people to read. It will be a B-side, or it will be something. I don't know exactly what, but they will find a way to get this story, those 2 stories out in some way, shape, or form. I mean, because you're right, that art and that story to Werewolf is just going to be, it's going to be too much. And I'm excited to see Retirement Plan 2. I'm excited to see it, and just to be what it's about. And you're right, the original books are going to be the original books. It is what it is.
That's fine.
But
I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
I'm really just about let me see the story. I would love to have the book, don't get me wrong, but I want to read the story. I want to enjoy the art. I want to, that's where I'm at as a fan. I collect a bunch of comics. I rarely sell a comic, so it's not like I'm in it for all the money. I like them for me. They're my toys. Don't touch them. I'm going to look at them and smell them and then put them back in a box for a month. That's just what it is for me, and I hope there's others in that same thing, and I hope we do get to read them. That's kind of, but I want to read them right away. I don't want to read them like months after everybody else gets to read them, right? I don't want to wait. So I do have my needs and my wants, and that's part of it. Well, you want to jump into a little Eniac number 4?
Let's do it.
Let's do it. That's a spoiler alert. That means we're going to spoil the shit out of a book. That means you should have read it. You should have went to your bad idea destination store and picked up your book. I picked mine up at Arcane Comics up in Linwood, north of Seattle. Moose, I think you're at the Monkey. Which Monkey are you? Where did you go?
I got two. So I like comics in Vancouver, and then Cosmic Monkey in Portland.
Sweet. I like those are both 2 awesome stores. Been to both of them, so good stuff. Cool. Well, let's go through creator roll call. Today with Eniac, we got writer Matt Kindt, art with Doug Braithwaite, colors with Diego Rodriguez, letters with Dave Sharp, cover with Louis Larosa. Fantastic, beautiful cover as always. Back cover by David and Duvia Reed. Incognito Dio, I think, is the last name on one of those. And then we got Fabulous, which is another David Lampa, Matt Kindt pairing. This back cover of Eniac that we have with Raoul Allen. I love Raoul Allen's work. And then the rest of the team, Jared Osborne on production, Warren Simons, Carl Bowler, Anthony, Adam Freeman, Josh Johns, Hunter Gordson, Dinesh and Warren as CEOs. Fantastic creators there doing some fantastic stuff as always with a little Eniac. Let's look at beautiful work as always, right? Taking a look at the book on the outside. What can you not say about? Yeah.
And knowing what the story is all about, the cover it just totally makes sense. And you kind of chuckle looking at it because now you know what's going on. But yeah, it's a stunner.
Yeah, right. But it tells enough of the story, but not give it away either.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. If you've not read this book, you have no clue what this cover means, which is brilliant.
It is exactly what you want. You want to tell a little bit of the story without giving it away. Captures the eye all the way around, dude. Like I've dug this, with the graphics on it, the cover, the stock, I can't speak enough of that, and I think I probably already have. But score all the way around. A+ on the cover for me.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. Every one of these covers hits home.
Then some just awesome interior work too. David Braithwaite kills it with his, just details, his kind of horror feel on a little bit of this too.
Yes,
and then Diego Rodriguez colors pairs really well.
Yeah, and I really did love the feel of that horror when they're down there in the tunnel and they're trying to get into and get at Eniac. And it's the whole pre-story as they flash back to Fletch's childhood days. And then you see the crew that those two had brought and Fletcher and Falk had brought with them. And they're just getting destroyed by whatever psychedelic mist is eating them up. I mean, they're just completely losing their minds, which is fantastic. I loved it. I thought it was great. And it's just the way that everything unfolded. You kind of knew that Fletch was there was something there with Fletch and Eniac. There was just something there, but I don't think we understood the depths of it. Did you?
You know what? I really did, right? And this is the one where I don't normally say I called my shot on this, but this is one where I really do believe that I saw this. I really saw and you remember I called it the mind conditioning, right? Mm-hmm. That was being done by the type and play. And, Fletcher's good. Fletcher's great. Oh, I'll be here for you. You know what I mean? Just the conditioning that was there, because you can psychologically mind condition somebody to, basically just mind control, basically warp them into believing what you want them to believe, right? It's just, domesticating a human being in general, right? Like that's really what it is. It's potty training a child. It's that you should wash your hands before you do that. You're taught that and you learn that, and it's something you learn to believe. And that there was conditioning done, and it showed that really, really well in I believe it's issue number 3. And then it does come back to this in this episode. It reinforces that super, super great and on how that does. And then it really does some really cool elements of talking about the psychotropic drugs and acid, and that's really and they even go into saying food because the just the genetically modified GMO foods. And it talks about those were like the pathway that Eniac had into people's brains is, with what's carried within those drugs and those symbols and the conditioning. It really did a good job of telling us that's how Eniac infiltrated people. That's how he got those people to do what he was doing. That's where you'll see in some of this. There's not a whole lot of images that I found. Oh, that one's not good.
No,
but
actually,
you
this
can
one is
see
kind of good because the mist that he put out there again was maybe something that was drug based, but a lot of it could have very well been a conditioned base as well. As the food gets modified and you're subjected to microdosings of certain hallucinogenics, and then you get a large dose of a hallucinogenic, and all of your past history comes flying out, which it seems like most of what these flashbacks were for the crew. These people that they did these horrible things, and all of a sudden here's the flashbacks. And I think that could have very well been part of that conditioning. And here you do see some of that conditioning right here, where they're just walking aimlessly.
Where they're really showing Fletcher's mom, right?
Yeah.
And she said it all started when she did some acid. And she's like, she says that was the conduit of what got Eniac in. It wasn't Eniac, but it wasn't what was the controller, but it was the keys for the controller, which I thought was really cool, kind of mindset of what that was with this. And like you said, the microdosing really is that. I didn't even think of it with the microdosing, the way that happened through the food. Absolutely. Playing that role. And so it's just, there's some little things there with Matt Kindt there that I always love that he throws in there that kind of makes sense, but yet it's still a little bit of fiction, but it makes sense. It's like scientifically accurate fiction, it's just really, really, really cool. But then we really get into this, and Fletcher's at that little place to put in the box, to put in the virus that's supposed to kill Eniac, and really feels called to do it. But Falk does not want Fletcher to do it. And Eniac does that, puts the gas in, tells him no, get the hell out. And Fletcher ends up doing the job, and Eniac sends all the nuke weapons up in space and gets the hell out, and they're all disarmed. And but one lands in Mars, right? They do definitely identify that one lands in Mars, but then everybody's fixed, everybody's good. But now the world's on the same playing field, and Fletcher and Falk, they're busy now, like with their new job, doing work, or their old job. But it's like getting the world back to where it needs to be. And who's the powerhouse now without who's the powerhouse?
Without nukes.
This could be a great opening, like an origin story type of thing, to a degree. First appearance for these characters to do other cool crime, just what do you call it? Procedurals, right? Going through and doing procedural, pieces. They're going through and they're doing the other events, and they could have regular cool stories, easy to come back to on where this is. Easy. Open door, man. Open door. Yeah. And yet the door is cracked for Eniac. The door is cracked for Eniac, and you still have Kane.
Yep. Absolutely, 100%.
Yeah, honestly, I wasn't too surprised with the ending of this. I thought it would have been a little bit more final, knowing that it was a mini series, but I feel like with where it was, it's teasing that there's something could possibly happen, even though it said the end at the bottom. But it's like, now we're going to work, and you created some characters that people like, and they could have some damn cool adventures, and some really cool stories with the jobs they hold. Strong, powerful women kicking ass.
And I think it's a perfect way when you start off and you tell a story, a mini. You are looking for that resolution. I know I was looking for the resolution, and I got to the end, and it was just, you wanted to dun, 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 just think music, dun, 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 you get that powerful, last final note. This is the conclusion, dun, dun. And this was more of a dun, dun, question mark, question mark, question mark. It was still final. But it was just that little lip up where you're like, but Eniac and Fletcher and Falk, and is there more? Will there be more?
Right.
And you just don't know. You're right. You do see the end, but you're like, but this isn't final. I want more story. There's got to be more story out there. And they can. They can totally come back to more story if they want to.
Oh, you totally could. There's lots to go with these two characters in general, and how they met and how they came across each other. How even more connected with Eniac. Like, how did these guys? How did Eniac play that role when, Fletcher was going through basic training? How did that happen? But it's a weird ending to a degree, because it ends up being, Eniac is the hero here, right? Screw you humans. You don't know how to use this shit. I'm tired of killing you because it's been your deal. The only way to save you is to save you from yourself. Here I go. And it's you can't deny it, can't disagree with it, but get rid of the power, and sadly there's going to be a power struggle anyway, but at least you don't have a big nuke to take everything out.
Exactly. You won't be able to destroy the innocent, which is what he was kind of about. Eniac was, we call Eniac when we really don't know what it was, but Eniac was, he kind of took care of the innocent.
Yeah.
Those that just, just the innocent. Yeah, that's all I can put there. That's exactly what they were.
Yep. Great all-around story for me. I don't know if I got much more to say about it, but I enjoyed it.
Yeah,
cool.
I mean, yeah, spot on. I mean, this is 4.75 for me. From cover to art to story, everything was brilliant. This is a home run, and I think this will be referred to in the future as one of those stories. I would not be surprised to see Matt Kindt win an award for small indie publishing regarding this book. There's so much hype, and there was so much that was properly delivered, and the story was truly, truly outstanding. I do see awards when it comes down to award season. It'll be for small print, but Matt Kindt will win. I mean, how could he? I mean, we're fans. So
I'm hoping so, but I'm hoping so, and I don't know. I think hopefully if there's enough people voting for it, right? At least a Ringo Award type of thing, with the internal bad idea fans if people push it. I hope that there's something that happens out of it, but I agree with you. A+ or an A with me, 4.75, all the way around. It held its weight. It like I said, didn't give a finite end, but it still gave a good conclusion. And it was a good first book for. But first mini series for Bad Idea.
Right.
There it is.
Yeah.
Boom.
They knocked it out of the park having this one lead off. It was great.
Yep. Yeah, I don't think it could have all the way around. Oh, I forgot. I'm jumping the gun. Fabulous, right? So there was Fabulous was this one. And that was Dave Lapham and Matt Kindt. I dug it because this is just a continuation of the hero trade of that one hero trade where the body parts are broken up and they're selling them because people are getting high, and somebody figures out, I took this tooth, she grinded up the truth, snorted it got her high, then she ground up that tooth and planted it in her garden, and ended up harvesting teeth out of like these little little shop of horror plants that started growing teeth, and she started selling these ground up teeth on the market. And they find her, they kill her, and they put the tooth back into Fabulous, and it looks like they're trying to piece Fabulous back together.
Yeah, Captain Fab, La Cinq Magnifique Incorporated.
Yep,
is the crew. Fab Five.
Dude, I dug this. I dug this.
Yeah. Well, it had me going back because shortly after the release of this book, Lapham came on the site and was pushing his pages. So I'm perusing through, and lo and behold, because it didn't say Fab Five, it said first appearance of La Cinq Magnifique on one of the books prior. I'm like, well, wait a minute, that's a first appearance by one of the main catalysts here. Let me buy that. So I plucked that bad boy out. And you know what? We're going to see more of these guys because just like you see, Captain Fab is going to get put, they're trying to put them back together.
Yep.
Yeah, really a great story.
I mean, reading into that, does that mean that Dinesh and crew are going back to Valiant to kind of put EXO back together?
I don't know. Of course, there was
I doubt it.
There was some art. Did you see that art that was released?
I did. The Larosa art. Oh, God, that looks so much like it, doesn't it?
Yeah, that looks so much like EXO
sitting on the throne.
Yes.
And it looks so much more like sentient, real, like, yeah, it doesn't look as, Iron Man. It looks a lot more. Yeah, that looked damn cool.
Almost creepy looking.
Yeah, I loved it.
Yeah.
I loved it. Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting because here we have all these other books that are flying around, and the one story that we have that has been true has been the hero trade. And this is just a hypothetical, and I'm going to throw this at you. Could the real stories be the hero trade and everything else just be fluff?
Everything else is just small story. And
Just
these
stories.
the B stories are the things to come.
The real story.
Yeah. I mean, you look at some of them and they really are. I mean, the Save Now, right? How could you not have more of those characters? We'll talk about another one here in a little bit. But yeah, I believe, Fabulous right here is one. There's some damn cool B-side stories that could have a lot more to be flushed out with them. And I'm sure that there's the possibility for it. Like, bring it. So, yeah.
Absolutely.
I dug the story. I think it's another B-side story. I give it an A. I enjoyed it. With what I saw from the Pizza Detective, I would like to see color on those pages, though.
Yeah, that would be pretty badass, wouldn't it?
Yeah, from the colored pages I did see Pizza Detective, I do want to see. I think I would prefer Lapin's art with color. But that's that.
See. That's that. Yeah. I mean, I enjoy it black and white, no doubt about it.
Yeah. Well, ready for the next one?
I am. Let's do it.
Spoiling the crap out of another one, y'all. This time it's Sleigh Bells. So dig this one with Zeb Wells is the writer. Dave LaFuentes did the cover and art. Ulysses Areola's on color. Simon Bolin on letters. And then one we'll talk about in a little bit, For a Good Time, call Elliot Rahal. He's the writer.
Call him. Really.
For a Good Time. Call Elliot Rahal.
For a good.
Yep. Adam Polina's on art. Ulysses Areola on colors there. Dave Sharp on letters again. He was on the last one. And then the back cover, we have Huge Art that did the back cover. Dave LaFuentes did the Sleigh Bells logo and trade dress. Jared Osborne for production. Carl Bowlers, Warren Simon, Anthony Militano, Adam Freeman, Josh Johns, Hunter Goranson, Dinesh and Warren. All the crew again. Therefore, bad ideas, Sleigh Bells. So what did you think about this one going into it?
I really didn't know what to expect. I kind of expected Santa just losing his S and just killing people. It's kind of what we got, but it was also kind of messed up. I really didn't know, like, Santa was going to come down your chimney when you're bad and fill you full of lead. Screw the coal. Blah, 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 blah. He was going to hit you with those Uzis and, fill you full of lead.
Yep.
We didn't quite get that. Still quite violent. And kind of revealed a few things about Santa that we just didn't quite know. But we always did know. That's kind of the shocker.
Yeah. I agree. I was looking at this and, I was thinking Claus or something like that, or Bad Santa, just crap like that was out there. The art, LaFuente's art fits it awesome. It was pretty cool. I was pretty excited to see what was to come. By just the cover art, made me kind of excited, even though it's, was produced in July. But it's one of those stories that tells a really cool story of Santa. Christmas story to a degree, but don't kill one of Santa's reindeer, or
know what you're shooting at.
Yeah, know what you're shooting at over the hill. So I mean, this tells kind of a sad story about a kid kind of encouraged to do something he knew it wasn't right, that he wasn't really wanting to be there. It was kind of dad wanting him there, and he got his first deer or reindeer, and turns out that all of Santa's little reindeers fell apart and they couldn't put them back together again.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, that was
no,
gruesome. And honestly, kind of I was expecting things to be messed up, but when I saw this, I was like, oh man. Oh,
poor reindeers,
not the reindeer. I mean, they just get absolutely decimated.
Yeah. They get taken out, right? And Santa figures out that the kid that was once on the nice list is no longer on the nice list, and he takes him out, and he's up for revenge. And it's just all around, like, but Santa ends up coming to figure out that the gun that he gave the kid's father when the father was a child for Christmas was the gun that killed his reindeer.
Yep.
And was able to realize that, like, I don't know, I guess get into it. A cool story of seeing that your consequences, or the actions you make, have consequences down the road. May not be today, it may not be tomorrow, but years later, there could be consequences to your actions. And I think that was what this really talked about, was Santa understanding that. And so after he kicked some ass, and he went to his lady who loves Christmas's house.
Yeah, that's the Santa baby. That's the little mistress, and we know it because of the Christmas songs. It was all written out there that Santa gets around. He spreads that Christmas cheer to everyone, or as many as he can. So,
and Santa was willing to give the cheer, man. Yeah, tell me a little bit about what you thought a little bit in here.
The first time I read it, I was like, man, this is really dark and just messed up. And I enjoyed it, but it was darker than I expected. I didn't know what I was going to expect, but Santa just got wrung through. And I mean, his whole world fell apart. And I totally thought it was just Santa bringing the pain, but really this is about completely tearing Santa's world apart. Everything down to the ground, all of his deer gone, his mistress gone, and he goes around, he kills people, he kills a police officer that he doesn't mean to kill, and he realizes that, oh my goodness, I did this. I was the bad, I was bad. And then of course, here in the scene that you see right there, I mean, he just goes off, and he becomes like a little spirit, I guess you could say, as he's dodging bullets, and just decimates this entire crew. Very violent, but also very, very kind of sad. And then of course at the end, you really, really feel bad for Santa. You really do. You start off feeling really bad for this kid, but man, oh man, at the end, I felt so bad for Santa.
Yeah, it really was. I mean, part of it was Santa pissed off because everything happened. It was an accident. That wasn't supposed to be one of his reindeers killed, right? Yes, they shot him over a hill, and they shouldn't have shot him over a hill. But, and it's Santa's losing his temper. And shit happens when you make the mistakes and, come around on it. And, it's poor Santa. Like, it does suck what happened. It does suck for the kid to have that happen. No, you killed all of the dang reindeer. But I don't know. I dug it. I liked some of the violence. I was expecting a little more humor out of it. I didn't get as much humor as I thought was going to be in it. It seemed more like, Santa Claus meets Die Hard. I don't know. It was ready to. Yep.
Yeah. I mean, you start off feeling bad for the kid. You felt really, really bad for Santa. But then the more you thought about it, in the end, you still really feel bad for the kid because now he realizes he destroyed Christmas.
Yep.
That little schmuck ruined Christmas for everybody.
It's over.
It's over. Next July, there's not going to be a Santa Claus.
Next July, Santa's done. So
Santa's done.
Yeah. Well, it could have been July in Australia. But yeah, I dug it. I think with this one, for what it was, just a quick in and out story. It told the story, got in. It was cool. I would like to have seen this Santa a little bit more. I'd like to, to a degree. It would be fun to explore some more of this Santa next July. Maybe backstories, right? Because it sounds like there's a lot there with that dude, and he's very handy with the steel. And he's, like you said, Santa baby. And yeah, interesting piece. So I mean, I'll give this a good A. I'll give it a good 4. I liked it.
Yeah, I agree. Everything 4 all the way around. The art didn't let me down at all. Not a single bit. The story. I read it a couple of times, and at first, like I said, it kind of had me back, and it was kind of sad. But going through it again, you get more of it, and yeah, for me, it was a solid 4. I enjoyed the book.
Dilly, yep. Then we had For a Good Time, Elliot Rahal and Adam Polina, Ulysses Areola, David Sharp. This story, do you want to summarize up this one a little bit, Moose?
Oh, man, I'm trying to remember. I didn't get a chance to reread this.
Okay, so guy's got a haul. He's on a job, and he's going down to the gas station, and his load is making some noise. But he goes in and uses the bathroom at a little quick stop, and he ends up calling for a good time. It's written on the stall in the bathroom, 666 and 666 666, and turns out they know who he is, and it's going to be hell for him. And just as he's leaving the bathroom at this quick stop, it gets held up. There's a robbery happening, and he gets in the middle of it. He tries to walk away, gets in the middle of it. The guy who's robbing him wants to see what's in the load, and it's a damn demon that bites off the head, looks directly at the guy and the clerk, the clerk that was at the gas station, and then flies away. And just as this gentleman who's got the load, the main character, tries to get the videotapes, clean up everything, he comes back out to shoot the clerk because the clerk didn't need to know what went on. But he tripped the alarm, and there he is with his gun at the clerk's head with police there. And I liked the last end, perfect Elliot Rahal. Oh, hell. And then there's the devil there going, exactly. The end. Again, question mark. Is it the end? What else can there be? That demon flew off. There's whatever's going to happen to this guy. There's the devil who, call for a good time. I thought this was pretty damn good. And I thought Adam Polina's art was really spot on for it too. This is for a little 8-page story, 10-page story, whatever it was. I liked it.
I was just, as you were telling the story, I was flipping through because it's a quick read and it's an enjoyable read. But as I flipped the page, and then this right here is what you were talking about, right down there at the bottom. And I was just like, that is. I remember when I looked at that thinking, oh man, that's another messed up story. But when you're transporting a demon, crazy things like this happen.
You kind of know that's what you're doing. Yeah. And then you want to go and cover it up, take out the tape, Yeah. And then if you really want to call a number at a gas station stall, you might be talking to a 40-year-old hairy old man, or the devil himself.
Yeah, I mean, usually you want to go for 555 numbers, not 666 numbers.
Yeah, you just don't do that.
You got to learn.
So, Yeah, this is a cool story. But I mean, that's pretty much what the story was right there, man. There was, I don't think like it was more depth than that. Besides, you know, the demons, things like that. But I dug it.
It was a fun story. I really liked it. Another dark, messed up story. But I liked the way it ended. I really did. I thought it was a great ending.
Yeah. Yep. So all the way around for a B-side story, I give it an A. Give it a 4. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Woo!
Yeah. Woo!
Right here. And yeah. So you know we got some books to catch up on in the next couple of weeks. I know we got a little Takers 3 that I know we need to do.
Mm-hmm.
We got a little lot. Maybe we could have a double lot day. Double lot day would be good.
Double lot day would be fun.
A passive aggressive day might be good. Which one did you read first? Did you read passive first?
I read passive first, yeah.
Okay, I haven't read either one of them now. And now that I have aggressive, I'm going to read aggressive first, and we can come back and see how this played towards both of us.
Okay, yeah. Because I read passive first. Yeah, that's great. That's a good way of looking at it. You read aggressive first, then passive, and we'll give it a fair shake. We'll put it up.
Yeah, I think let's see what the different point of views are and run from there. So,
sounds good. Point on.
I'm in, man. I'm in. Yeah. Let's get it going. We'll get it going soon.
And you know what? We're here in 11 days. That's what it is. 11 days. We got Rose City Comic-Con.
Whew. Yes, we do.
I'm excited about it. I really am. Dude, I'm looking forward to it.
I'm pretty damn pumped up myself. I'm pretty pumped up. I think it's going to be fun. I think we'll have some fun things to look forward to while we're there. Mm-hmm. If anybody's going there, come say what's up. Maybe we'll have I know one thing I'm excited for is just going to be hanging out and just after party whatnot afterwards, having some drinks and whatnot, and have a super fight and hang out and be dorks or whatnot. If people want to show up, come through, say what's up.
Absolutely.
Cool, Moose. Appreciate it, dude.
Hey, thanks for having me on, man.
Oh, always. Thanks for having me on. It's like,
yeah,
awesome.
It's my show. I love having you. No, it's not my show. It's your show.
It's ours. This is bad idea. Okay. Let's rock it. All right, guys. Y'all have a good day and do that subscribe thingy.
Absolutely.
Peace.
Oh no.